Hello everyone and welcome to today's reading. I'm going to be reading for the month of March to see what's to come. So without further ado, we're going to start by shuffling our Tarot of the Divine deck, one of my all-time favorites. So I'm always a really big fan of using this, and I find that, at least for myself, it is kind of what made me start believing in tarot and start to use it more, because I just found that this deck completely understood me. So we're going to start by taking the base. I'm going to try not to share these with you guys. We're going to take the base of each card. And I know it seems like a lot. That's not how we plan on finishing it. But I like to take it from where it sticks out and the three cards that are behind it. So we're going to do that. And then leave this beautiful deck off to the side. So this deck will be incorporated as the readings happen. I'm going to place some amethyst, some unakite, and some rose quartz. So take your pick, see which of the cards suits you, which pile suits you, and then we will get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the rose quartz pile. Let's take a look at the three main cards. We have the Knight of Swords, the Five of Swords as well. Interesting. Okay. And then the Seven of Wands. If you want a closer look at each card, I can share that now. So you'll see them here. Now, what I get from this reading is you've got work ahead. Not a bad thing. It's just that you do. It looks like perhaps you felt like you were on your way to achieving, or felt like you had clarity in the actions that you were taking, that your thoughts were relatively clear, and perhaps recently that's changed. Perhaps recently there is a sense of betrayal or a sense of questioning your thoughts and if they are accurate, if they are fair, if they are guiding you to where you want to go. And very simply put, the Seven of Wands is all about working on that. You're going to be putting in a lot of effort, a lot of work moving forward to break through that. I would also say with the wands, you're looking at more of a creative outlet. So what I read from, considering we have the two types of suits, is that you've been more in your ego. You've been more in your mind. What it seems like is being asked of you is to work more on creating, work more on what you can actually do and what you can achieve and what you can create, rather than focusing on what you're thinking, how you're told to think, because that's not actually where you're going to find peace. So let's see. There's this beautiful, I believe it's called Threads of Fate deck. So we can shuffle this and see if we have a final sort of closing card that will give you a theme. Feels like there's two, so we're going to settle with two. And what are they? Look at these beautiful cards. So we have the Observer, and then we have the Weaver. Now, how I read these is ironically in perfect placement. These almost are going between these cards. So the Observer can sometimes be a bit more in their mind. It's good to observe. It's good to observe your thoughts rather than to be a part of them. So I think that's the first point of it. But also, can we just talk about how literally identical these cards are? Like, you couldn't have gotten two cards that are more identical in this deck. the weaver is incorporated into the observer. You are taking your identity and you're recreating it. You're designing it the way that you want it to be. So based on this, I'm starting to think that you've been presented with a thought that someone gave you. It could have been a religious thought, a work-related thought, whatever. You have observed that and realized that it betrays what you want for your life. And now you get to weave it, weave around the sword, weave around the thought, recreate that in a way that works for you. And I think that's actually quite an interesting way to look at March. March is really a good time for this sort of thing. It's before we get into the summer, before we get into the joy and the fun and the excitement of everything. So I think that this is overall quite an interesting and exciting reading. Next, we're going to be taking a look at what was under the amethyst. So taking a look at the cards. Ooh, we have the Ace of Coins, Wheel of Fortune, and Page of Coins. What have you done to deserve such good luck? Now, when I'm looking at this, you have a new idea, possibly a new business, or maybe a new home that you're receiving, or a new car, or something like that. Something related more to, of course, finances, the physical realm, the earthly realm. It could also be finding a sense of more grounding and earthing yourself to some degree. Either way, let's frame it in the sense of a business, just because I know that's easier for people to comprehend. It looks like you're starting something like that. And luck is in your favor. It's upright, which I do most of my readings upright regardless, but usually the last card can determine if this may have a negative impact. The Page of Coins, I mean, look at how innocent this card is. This card is speaking to purity, to hope, to the potential of prosperity, the potential of enjoying your innocence. Whatever you're doing is leading to maybe not financial abundance in the sense of having a lot of money or having a lot of things, but there is going to become a sense of physical peace as a result of this new venture. So let's take a look at what the oracle cards have to say about this. Perhaps there's a little bit more guidance on what direction. That's exciting. I feel like I could connect with this one even. So let's see if we've got, once again, I don't know if you can see that, but there are two sticking out. So I guess you're getting two as well. All right. We have the Wildling and the Creator. There's a lot of swords so far in my readings today. But look at that. Are you kidding me? Whatever the heck you're creating is going to be a very fun experience. Now, with the Wildling, there is a sense of you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to accept confrontation throughout this process. But that's part of creation, right? If you're going to be achieving whatever it is that you're going to be achieving, it's normal that people are going to be conflicted with you, that they're going to test you, that they're going to question you. And perhaps this and the Wheel of Fortune, consider the cyclical nature of it. That's just a part of the process. That's just a part of people testing your luck, your will to continue. But regardless, the end result is still beautiful. You're still in a great place. You're in that creator space right now. So whatever it is that you're creating, there's alignment with that. There is a desire from the universe or whatever you believe that is saying, yes, go for it, do it. Expect that there will be discussions, arguments, and whatnot along the way. But ultimately, this is going to bring you a sense of peace, especially once you're able to get through maybe the arguments or the conflicts or the contrasts that you experience. Perhaps getting through this, to be honest, will provide you with that sense of feeling at peace with the decision and the creation that you've made. All right, and now we finally have our Unakite. This has been one of my favorite stones for a very long time. So we have the Two of Cups. If I can make that any closer. Then we have Okay, we have the Ten of Swords. All right. And then we have the Four of Swords. Oh dear. Oh my. I don't mean to have here. I might not have done this for the other ones, but I feel like you need special attention. I'm going to make sure these are facing you. This tells me you're going through something with someone that you care about, someone that you either have a relationship, a friendship, a sisterhood, a brotherhood with, and they did something that pissed you off. And you might not be in a position where you feel like you can speak on it, or that you can resolve it, or that you can do anything about it. And so you're sitting there kind of trapped in what they've done to you. And I'm very sorry that you're experiencing that. Let's not leave it at this. I don't like to do readings where I see that someone is clearly struggling. So let's ask the cards for a little bit more about what's going to happen next. Because maybe you're already here. Maybe you already know this, or you know that it's already on its way very soon. Oof. We have the Tower showing up on the bottom. Oh, you poor thing. You'll be fine. As life always is, we end up in wonderful places, no matter what form our bodies or minds are. But let's see here. This immediately okay. So we have the Empress. So perhaps someone is going to step in and help you from a sense of a motherly figure, or perhaps this whole situation happened because of a lack of a mother figure. So how do I explain that? So when you're in these situations sometimes, and I'm sorry, my voice is cracking, I'm getting tired here, but when you're in these types of situations, sometimes you get into these places where you rely on someone because you weren't taught how to love yourself. You weren't taught how to care for yourself. And so this may be that the resolution is you finding a sense of motherhood within yourself to mother yourself, or that you reconnect with or it could be that this is your mother and this is where you have to end up taking care of yourself. This is just how I'm reading it. Oh, what an interesting time for you. Let's finish up with some oracle cards, because that always kind of helps set the theme or the tone for whatever it is that you need to embody. Ooh, that already stuck out. I'm going to do that, but I'll see if anything else comes with it. We have one other card. Ooh. That's a good thing, right? That I made that sound. So, oh my God. Okay. This is the one that made me go, ooh. This is higher perspective. And then we have strength. My dear, this is a trying time for you. My God. This also makes me think of the High Priestess, because that's actually the card before the Empress. I'm wondering if there's any correlation there. But this is obviously this is a time for strength. This is a time for growth. And it looks like this whole process is to bring you closer to your higher self, if that's a concept that you agree with or believe in. There is some type of higher self. So I know that this is painful. I know that this sucks, quite frankly. You don't want to be in the position of someone that you love or someone that you were deeply connected to hurting you, betraying you, leaving you in this frozen state. But this is building. And I've been in some terrible traumatic situations, and sometimes you don't want to hear that this is building strength, it's making you a better person. But it is, because you're gaining a higher perspective, and by having this, it will prevent you from getting into a situation like this again. So this month for you is about going through this experience, accepting there are going to be moments where you feel frozen and you feel stuck, and that you have to work through this and mother yourself and be your own higher self, or embody that higher self. Because the whole point of having this self that we have as our goal, as our higher self, the one that we want to become, the role model, whatever it is, it's not so that it's always higher than us, that it's always above us. That's the one thing I don't necessarily like about that wording. Eventually, our goal is to step into that, it's to become that. And so if we are going into these situations and thinking of separating ourselves, that's not necessarily the best way to go through it. I would say this journey is creating this. You exist, your higher self exists throughout the whole process, through the love, through the betrayal, through the fear. And there's that strength. That is what's helping to create and hold you there. But that strength is not necessarily making you someone that you're not. It's showing you who you already are, which is this empress, this healer, or maybe not healer necessarily, but you can heal yourself and you have that higher perspective. So you got extra time because I just saw this and I didn't want you to be in a bad state. This is really, I've been through so many periods of my life like this, and I know that it takes time, and you will heal and come out of it even better than you ever thought you would be. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you found this interesting or if you have other themes or questions. I also do personalized readings, and I'm going to be trying to do at least 1 or 2 readings a month for free that are public. So feel free to leave your question in the comments and I will try to get back to you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.